Hi everyone, so welcome to today's video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how I colour skin, and I'm going to be using Prismacolor pencils. So I have got out the three colours that I'm going to use. I've got burnt ochre, light peach and peach. I just have the 48 set, I don't have the rest of the colours. So I'll show you the ones that I have. So these are what I'm going to be using some of the other colours for the makeup. I don't know if I'm going to do the makeup as a separate video. We'll see how this video progresses. But these are the Prismacolors that I have. But I do really want to save up and get the large set because they're my favourite. So these are the colours that I'm going to be using for the skin tone. But I just want to show you, like, it does depend on the paper because I have practiced here. And I did do this picture. It's the exact same picture and the exact same pencils. And as you can see, this is a lot lighter and a lot less sort of blended, and it just overall looks better and it looks darker on this paper because this paper is like a really like sort of smooth magazine cardstock paper. And this one is actually more what I wanted for these particular pencils. So I do have this, like this image. This one was printed on this, like, it's basically like magazine paper. It is nice and thick and that, but it's just too smooth and I wasn't a fan of it when I first got it. But you know, I'm a very noob when it comes to paper, so I haven't really got a clue. So I just basically typed in like high quality paper on Amazon and that's what came up. And then I wanted more of a textured paper, so I did look at this one. So this is the one that I'm using today. It's the Canson mixed media paper, because this was like quite an alright price. It was like £6 something for 50 sheets, so I bought this one instead, just to show you what paper that I'm using. I don't know why I bothered showing you the white one, because it has like no like packaging on to actually show you any of the details. But this is definitely more of what I wanted. This particular image is from Mariola Budek's Beauty Inspirations 3. And this, like the front page is printed on that like white paper, but I don't really need to colour, like I'm not going to colour the first page, so I don't really need to reprint that in this paper. But I do have the images on a different paper. So as you can see, this one's more cream as well. This one I did with the Artisas on that smooth paper. I'm just testing out like different pencils, like how the different pencils I have work on different paper, and I'm in the middle of doing this one, and this one is with the Black Widow pencils on the Canson paper. But I'm just going to get on with actually showing you what I'm using. I am going to colour the exact same image because I really like this picture and I just want to do it in the same, like similar sort of colours as this one, but just see how the pencils, like the Prismacolor pencils, work on this one. And as you can see, I have done a test on the shoulder because I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to mess it up. But I do love how this image turned out, but again, I just don't like how, because the Prismacolor pencils are that soft, I have to keep like checking that I'm actually in the frame. The Prismacolor pencils are that soft sort of blendable formula, as you all may know, so it didn't like take the layering very well. It just kind of balled up and went waxy, and I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but there's like just bits of wax that have been like grained in, and basically I just not a big fan of it on that paper. So we're going to see how it works out on this one. And I really like how this shoulder looks so far, so good. So I'm just going to show you, I'm going to zoom you in, and we're just going to get on with it. I am going to do the body first and then I'll move up to the face, just so by the time I've gotten to the face that will look the best. So I've like, by the time I do the body and that, I've usually like figured out the technique and what I want to do with it. So again, we've got light peach and burnt ochre. So basically what I'm going to do is just take the burnt ochre and go in the shadowed areas. In this PDF it does have a option whether you can have light grayscale or dark grayscale, and I chose the light option just because I don't like the grayscale too dark, but it's still nice to have that grayscale there to give you, if you can hear like little squeaking noises, it's my chair because my sister broke it. But yeah, it's nice to have a, what's the word, a guide onto what, like, where you should be putting the shadows, because I'm not like entirely sure on natural shadows and stuff. But I just do a really light layer of this what's it called again, burnt ochre. It's pretty simple really once you get the hang of it. And I do love the Prismacolors for skin and makeup, and even on other things, like even when I do like use markers and stuff on pages, like the colour pages, I do often do the makeup with the Prismacolors, or I'll do makeup with pencil in general because it's just a much better blendability. So I'm just going to like lightly go around the hair just so it stands out. And I'm just going to like lightly go over the line art as well, because I don't want the line art to be grey. I want the peach colour to blend into it nicely. Every page turns out different. Nothing's really going to turn out the same, but this is just the technique that I use. I think I've got the most like colouring skin experience with these pencils because I just really like them. I do like the art teasers as well. These wanted to do like the different videos, like separate videos on the different pencils that I have and what colours I use out of my different pencil sets. Because I can do that if you want that, but I don't have like all of the pencils. And I'm not an expert in any way. I'm not a professional artist. I just do what works for me. But I do really like colouring skin. So that's that, and then I take the peach and just go, I go over those areas but bring it in further. I do need to sharpen these pencils, but I kind of use them down until like they definitely need sharpened, because I don't want to like sharpen them too much. Because like I don't want to use them up until I can get some new ones. So I do try to just go in like light layers until I figure out where the shadows I want to, like where I want the actual skin tone, and then where I want the highlights and stuff. So this peach is to actually have as the skin tone colour, and then the light peach is for the highlight colour. And then obviously this one is for the shadows. Stop rolling away from me. I don't want it to be like so noisy. So I'll just put them over here. It's going to be like really noisy if they just keep rolling across the desk. I don't really have much to talk about right now. It's like 3:15 in the morning. My sleeping pattern is like the other way around. It's like so flipped. I'm a very I've got insomnia and I'm an anxious night owl, so the combination of all of those things just doesn't bode well for sleeping at normal times. I find colouring skin very therapeutic. It is definitely portraits are definitely my favourite to colour, and these Mariola Budek ones are just absolutely stunning. So I have coloured 2 fully completed so far, and then also I'm working on 1, and then I'll be working on this one as well. So that's 4, and I'm hoping that I can do more. I did buy a hair one as well. I think it was the wedding hair inspiration. And Debbie from Colour Me Stress Free, she is doing Mariola March. So I want to join, I have joined in already because I posted 1 picture already on Instagram. So I need to get these finished and up on Instagram this month to be able to participate further in the hashtag. So this first layer is just the base to kind of get to grips of what I actually want to, or where specifically I want to place the colour. So yeah, I'm going to do just a little bit of highlight on our shoulders, and then a little bit of highlight in the middle here is what I'm aiming for. So really all this can be coloured. But I just basically go section by section, so I'll do this section and then come on to this section. So I think that this should be a collarbone, right? I think I've just coloured over a collarbone. So I'm just going to erase this and just make sure that I haven't. Well, I say erase, but you can actually turn on the sharpener, but it's one of them sort of erasable, electric erasers, but it doesn't really make any difference, to be honest, so it's a bit useless. But I do want to just add a little bit of shadow here, and then I just want to leave a little bit where I can add a highlight in there. And because this paper has that little bit of texture or tooth, whatever you call it, it does just grip the pencils better. Because on the other paper I just kind of slid around. So I am much happier with the results so far on this paper. With these pencils, I'm not liking the Black Widow ones so much on it, but I just like these portraits, and it's definitely good practice to see, as I said, which pencils work better on smoother paper and which ones work better on more toothy paper. So that I've kind of just added those, and then I'm just going to go in with the lighter peach, just because I want everything to have an even base layer. And as you can see, the pencils are definitely darker on this paper. than there are on this one. And this was like several layers, and I did mess up here because, as I say, the pencils were just like smearing around and they weren't like blending as well as I wanted them to. So as you can see, definitely there is a colour difference just by using the same pencils. Am I showing you probably? Yeah, you can definitely see there's a colour difference just by using the same 3 pencils. So I am going to sharpen these ones in a minute because I need a sharper edge. So I'm just going to sharpen these 2 pencils. So there we go. And I'm just basically going to build the layers up, but just press a little bit harder. You don't really need much pressure for these to blend nicely. They kind of just blend nicely on their own, and that's why I said like I love using them for makeup. But the makeup look that I had in mind for this one, if I just show you, is it focused properly? It just was not building on top of each other the way I wanted it to. It just, yeah, I love the image overall and the colours and stuff, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. But I still think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous colour, and I'm definitely going to be using like this colour, this like light green colour. I kind of want to do like this picture, pink, green, like that light pink and that light green and that like pink, light pink. Can I talk? And then I'm gonna add some purple in there, like not that kind of pinky purple, more of like an actual cooler toned purple, maybe for the top and the eyes and the makeup. Not sure. I just go with the flow. I don't really have, sometimes I have like particular colours in mind that I want to use, but most of the time I just go with the flow and see what happens. So I know that I want like what colour scheme I want it to have, but then where I place the colours will just be come as I use them. I don't really plan out like specific colours in areas or anything like that. But I did have a few requests to show how I coloured skin, so I just thought I'd do it. I did want to do makeup in this video, but I just thought that I'd do it as a separate video if this video becomes too long. I didn't really think about it, to be honest. I thought that I would do it in the same video, but now as I'm sitting down I think I might do it in a separate video, just so I can really show you. Because I do the blush and that as part of the skin, so we'll see. I should really like try to plan things out a little bit more, but I just never do. I'm just a very like in the mood kind of person, or like just a very go with the flow kind of person when it comes to things like this. I don't think it really needs like intensive preparation, because then I just end up overthinking it. So I'll do this section and then I'll do this shoulder off camera, and then we'll come back and do the face, so you're not just like watching us colouring the body part, like the body, because the face is always the most exciting for me, because like then I get to add the blush and the makeup. And I did used to have a makeup channel. I do have an Instagram with all like my makeup pictures and stuff on, so I'll link that in the description box. And then I used to have a makeup channel, but I deleted it now because I used to love makeup before I got into colouring. But I just fell out of love with it. Like when my depression really hit like hard and my anxiety, I just fell out of love with it. And then I found like adult colouring, and that kind of substituted me creative outlet. And I think I've actually found something that I'm naturally quite good at. So it only took 26 years. Like I wasn't bad at the makeup, but it just, I don't know, the whole thing of like you can just colour a colouring page and you can have it there, and like for the makeup you had to put the makeup on and then you had to like wash it all off, and I was never skilled enough to do all that SFX stuff, but that would be cool. And hopefully me love for like makeup will come back one day, but for now it's not there. But actually drawing the makeup like on these portraits and stuff is enough. So yeah, I really love colouring the makeup, I should say, not drawing. So as you can see, because the paper does have like that bit of tooth and like texture, you do have to just go over a little bit harder, in like with harder pressure, just to fill up that tooth and fill up the white space. And because these are just so soft and buttery, I just love them. Definitely prefer a softer pencil or a harder pencil. I like the picture that I'm working on at the minute with the Black Widows, just those pencils, especially from the light skin tone, just really hard. I'm not the biggest fan on this paper, so I am going to try them again on the smoother paper to see if they work better. But yeah, not loving it, because it really hurts my hand to try and like put the pressure on to get into the tooth, where these ones you barely have to apply that much pressure. And I don't really want to colour and have sore hands. The Black Widow pencils I really like the Monarch set because them are softer than the other ones. But the skin tone set is definitely quite hard. I like the Dragon ones as well, and they have like a mixture of harder pencils and softer pencils. But the colours in that Dragon set are gorgeous. So like I'm willing to work with those. Sometimes it just depends what kind of mood I'm in. Sometimes I am in the mood to just layer, and because sometimes like especially with the polychromos, I have found a love for them in the layering process, but they have like a lot of pigment. Even though you have to layer them, they have a lot of pigment to layer with. But some of the harder pencils in the Black Widows don't have as much pigment, so you have to like just work harder to layer them, where the polychromos layer beautifully. And I know that the Prismas and the Polys are like quite a popular, like they're both quite popular brands of pencils. And I don't want to be trying out like a million different pencils. I know like people like Derwent and they have like, it is Derwent, isn't it? That have all the different, like they have a million different pencils types. And then you've got the Caran d'Ache Luminance, which loads of people like. I know I've heard like I don't know every single pencil brand, but it's just what I've heard people go on about. But I definitely heard that the Prismas were nice and soft, and that's what drew us to them. And basically I did get the polychromos for like the hype and just to see what they were like, and I do like them, but Prismas are definitely my preferred pencil. I need more skin tone colours in the polychromos actually, and I know that they do the single ones on cult pens. So I do want to buy some more flesh tones to like add to me polychromos set. I don't want like a million different pencil sets because then I just get like too overwhelmed and I don't know what I use. The ones that I have is I have the Arteza. The Arteza don't actually, like I have the full 120 set, but they don't actually have that many skin tones. There's just like a few. And I don't know the full range of Prismacolors yet either because I haven't got them. But I really, really want them. You know, when you just sit and think like, oh, I really want those pencils and I haven't bought them in the past even when I've had the money and I've just wasted my money on other stuff. But you know, me time will come. But I'm excited to get a new desk at the end of the month because the desk that I have, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's just too small. But the thing is, I did have, I'm going to take the light peach now. The thing is, I thought I wasn't recording there. I did have the desk that I want, like the tabletop. It's like quite big. I did have it like last year or the year before. No, it was the year before. And I got rid of it because it was too big and I didn't have enough space to fill. Like I didn't have enough stuff to fill all the space and it was just too big in my room. Not in my room, but like it was just unnecessary because I didn't need that amount of desk space. So I just got rid of it. And then now I've got too much stuff and I need it again. So I'm just going to give the desk that I've got to me brother, and then I'm going to get a big tabletop from IKEA. But I'm also going to get like some Alex drawers as well, because this desk that I have is one of the Mickey ones and it has a cupboard. Oh, by the way, I'm just taking that peach because as you can see there is a stark contrast between those two colours. But because I do want that highlight to remain there, I'm just going to do a light layer over it just to add a little bit of extra colour to that but still make it lighter, and then blend in the edges. So yeah, I'm going to get some Alex drawers as well because this desk does have it has like a large drawer at the front, and then at the side there's like a cupboard and a smaller drawer, and I have stuff in them. So if I got rid of this desk and only got like a tabletop desk with no storage, then I'd need more storage basically. So I am going to get the tabletop and the Alex drawers. I was thinking about getting the mom desk because my brother and my uncle have that one for like their gaming, but then they put the prices up and I just thought I'm not really willing to pay £150. So I'm just going to get the tabletop and the Alex drawers, which I originally have wanted for a while. I'm just going to get it for collection at the Gateshead store because I am not walking around that shop. It takes us ages to walk around the shop to get to the warehouse department. I'm not very good at walking. I'm very slow, so it takes us a long time. And plus I have social anxiety, so it's not really good. But it's good because my brother can just take us over in the car. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to add a little bit more. So as you can see, there is just a slight bit highlight there, but I think it's still just a little bit too stark for me liking. Just want to blend it a little bit more. And then I do just want to make this area a little bit lighter. So that's good that you can just go on top with this one, with this light peach, and just add a little bit of highlight. and just blend the edges. So I think that this is just needs a little bit more work to blend the shadow colour into this colour. So I'm just going to do that. But when you're picking a darker colour, you want it like the same kind of tone as this, because if you picked like a more ashy brown, when you put this peach on top, it would just kind of go ashy. So just make sure that if you're using like a warmer skin tone colour, which I am because this is the only like one I have available in the Prisma set that I have, just be aware that you don't want like a ashy brown or like a neutral brown. I would go more for a warm brown, even though shadows are generally cooler. Obviously I'm not colouring to be realistic, I'm just using the guidelines that Mariola has provided. But I do just want to mention that, because obviously it is grayscale, but I don't want to have the skin tone peach and then the shadows like a mucky grey brown. But I'm pretty happy with that. I think that it looks nice and blended. You can see that there's highlights there. So I'm going to go off camera and colour this section here, and then we'll come back for the face. So I'm back and we're going to do the face now. I'm just going to do the face, and it might not be completely finished because I am going to like cut this video and then move on to the makeup. So it'll be finished except at cheeks, because I don't like to build up too many layers on the actual part where I'm going to put the blusher, just so it can have extra room for the layers of the other colour that I want to use. So I am going to take these two colours right here. So the ones I have is just blush pink and rose, but we'll get to those when we're actually using them. So again, same technique, but it's just like different sort of, I kind of do the shadows as if I was putting on makeup. So I know that like if I was putting on makeup, I would put contour here just to sculpt our cheekbones a little bit, and then I'm going to go around the hairline because that's where I would put bronzer. I would also contour it on my face just a little bit. Obviously she's a beautifully illustrated lady who's stunning, but I just kind of take the same steps as I would putting on my own makeup, and that's how I kind of think about it. And obviously there is a more of a shadow under here because of her hair, and also Mariola put like an extra bit of grey, like so she put the actual like grayscale here, so we know that it's supposed to be a shadowed area, which is really helpful for the grayscale. But I don't really like grayscale that's super dark, because then it's really hard to cover it. And I do it just under the lip, just to make our bottom lip stand out a little bit more. And I do that with my own makeup as well. And then in the Cupid's bow, no, is that, I don't know, this is the Cupid's bow, right? Inside this little thing here. And then I'm also going to take it down the side of our nose just to define our nose a little bit more. But just try and do like the lightest layer that I can, because I am using this brown just because I don't have a darker flesh tone. So this is the closest I got. And I'm not going to like take it, even though there is grayscale, elements here. Even though the grey is like indicating shadows here, I'm not going to do anything there because again, I'm just going to go over with the light colour and the medium colour maybe just to add a little bit of a flesh tone, but I want to do the eyeshadow, so I'm saving up the layers for there. I'm going to do ever so slightly, just a little bit underneath, that's it, and then around the jawline. I'll best not forget about the ear actually, because sometimes I forget about the ear. But I'm having a really like a light, as light as I can with this brown, because it is quite, like if you do too much, if you press too hard, then it might make it too dark. On my actual makeup, I definitely would contour under the chin, because you know you got to try and hide that double chin. But she obviously does not have a double chin, but it will just create a shadow anyway. So I'm just like kind of touching that up a little bit. And then just on the ear, I'm just following the grayscale. The ear I'm not really too concerned with because you can't really see it that much. And I think on the other page actually I added more of this, but I feel like our skin is like a nice colour on here. It's a nice peachy tone. But like it always looks so stark in comparison to like the white of the paper, but once everything's done it'll look like less orange. Just like when you're actually doing your own makeup and you put your eyebrows on first and they always look like gigantic compared to the rest of you, compared to like the blank face, and then once you've got the rest of your makeup on they look much better. There we go for that one. So again, just taking the peach shade and then going over like as light as I can, just going over the darker brown, like the brown colour, just to sort of blend it. I'm just going to take away some of this darkness because I do want to add like a highlight in there. I just went in a little bit too far with the darker colours. And then I know there's grayscale on our nose, but I'm not going around with that dark brown because I don't want it to be that dark. I'm just going in with this one because I do want to do a bit of a highlight on our nose, like on these parts, on our nostrils, that's the word. But you can just take the actual brown and just go inside the nose. So I don't really know what to talk about right now, so hopefully it's alright and not boring. But I just really like colouring skin. It's very like, it's very calming. It's just very nice. And especially with like soft pencils. And I have so much anxiety that it's not often that I actually go into that zen moment. So even when I'm colouring other stuff, I do enjoy it, and it does help us like take my mind off it and relax a little bit, but I never really truly like zone out and like go into that zen space, because I'm usually like watching something that I want to, like, I'll probably like watch YouTube or the telly or something. But when there's nothing to distract you, sometimes you can forget that you're filming and then just zone out, which is so nice. But I don't want to upload a video of me just like colouring in skin and not talking at all. But I just wanted to show you how I do it again, because I did have some requests. I do more highlights on the face though. So I do want this chin area, so I'll just kind of show you like where I do the highlights. I've come up too high here, so it's easier to erase if you just work in small layers. Small layers, thin layers I should say, because I do want to add a highlight to the chin. And like basically we want to make her look like them girls on TikTok, you know, when they do the or like YouTube that do those like cream contour videos. And that definitely doesn't need to be all the way in there, we need to lighten that. My eyes are still bothering us, and I put some eye drops in before I started filming, and it's still annoying us. So I definitely want to add like some highlight here. I want some highlight, like that'll probably be where I highlight there. And then I do like to add just a highlight like here and then above the top lip. And usually I'll go from like the top of the eyebrow bone and then swerve it around to the nose, because that's usually like how I would contour my own nose, and then leave these bits so I can highlight them. And then if you want to make a nose like more of like a button nose, then just sort of make that kind of shape and just add a bit more contour there. And then you can also like just add a darker contour there and then have that as a highlight on our nose. And then I also want to leave like a sort of round bit in the middle of the forehead to act as a highlight as well. And then all of this will just be like contour, and then I will add some like colour for the warmth, just add a little bit of more warmth to our skin, because when I do my own blusher I usually put a little bit on my forehead and my nose as well, just to add a little bit of blood, like I don't know, like a little bit of a frosty element. I don't know why I do it, I think it just looks cute. It's basically just to add a bit of a blush. When I do my own makeup as well, I usually leave this bit highlighted and then the blusher will go on the cheek here. So I'm just gonna like map this out. So we've got the darker contour bit, and then you've got the actual skin, and then this is going to be the highlight bit. And then we are ever so slightly just going to leave this part a little bit more highlighted, just so you can actually see the chisel of the contour. Well, that's what I'm going to do. So then we've got that. I've been lying on my arm and it's like my last two fingers are dead. So then I'm just going to go over with the light peach colour and just go over the areas where we wanted to have that highlight. And then just fix it up a little bit, and then same process, just layering, building, blending, building, blending, building, you know. And then with this lighter colour, I'm just going to do a light layer over the eyes, just so it like matches the rest of the skin. But I don't want to do like too many layers on the eyes, because when we come to do the eyeshadow, we want like kind of a good amount of layering ability still there, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to blend this lighter colour over some of the contour around the nose, because I think I've made it slightly too dark on that side. I should say this side's okay. So now that you know what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put it into time lapse and sort of do the layers, because I don't really know what else to talk about. But I'll just build the layers up and put it into time lapse, and then I'll come back once I've added in the blush and that. It'll just be quick. So now we're going to get the pink pencils, and we're going to just get the rose colour. Or yeah, pink or rose. Oh, I think it's just called pink. I'm reading the wrong language. It's just pink. And I'm just going to do just a layer of this colour on the cheek where I've left that sort of gap. And as you can see, I did like recontour the nose because I didn't like when I had done the button nose. I don't think the nose is like long enough, so I recontoured that. I'm not sure if this is like too orange, but as I say, like it does look so orange, but hopefully it'll all balance out when I've got everything else on. So I'm taking the blush pink now and just going over the top to blend everything out. It's really easy. You just blend. And then I'm just going to get the light peach colour and blend the edges, just so everything like blends seamlessly into the, like, just so everything blends seamlessly together. And then I'll get the darker colour and just blend this part. So yeah, this paper definitely grips the pencils, the Prismacolor pencils, a lot more, and everything is super like saturated. So that's why it looks so dark, I think, but I'll just zoom this back out. Everything is really nice and blended, and there is little bits of paper showing through, but I've like covered the tooth as much as I can, and I'm happy with it. So I'm just like hoping that it doesn't look too orange, but again, I think it's just the contrast between the white and like the white of the paper and the darkness, because I think in this one I think I did use a little bit more of the lighter colour than this one, but it was also just because every time I was going over with this light pencil, like it was just kind of taking away this colour. But as you can see, it just still looks really pretty and blended. She's just going to be a lot more tan than here. But if I did, like, if you did think that this was, like, if I did think this was too dark, I could just go over a little bit with this pencil and just try to lighten everything up a little bit. But I'm going to leave it for now and then see how everything turns out at the end. You know, again, I'm not any type of a professional at anything. This is just like every time I colour a page, it's an experiment, really. And I know that blush looks a bit much right now, but you know, it's a colouring page. I like makeup to be a bit much. The eyeshadow's going to be super bright and colourful too, so it will match eventually. But that is the skin. This is where we're going to leave off for this video. So I'll just bring you up close and then you can see what we've done in this video. So I hope that this video was helpful, at least to anyone. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you are interested, I'm just like wiping away my desk. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in how I colour makeup, that will be coming in a part 2. I'm gonna film it right now, so I'll try to edit it and get it up within a timely manner, so you can like have it quite soon after this video. So that's it. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like me, subscribe and turn on the notification bell to see any future videos. Let us know in the description, and not in the description box, I keep saying the description box. Let us know in the comment section if it was helpful to anyone. It was requested, as I say, so at least some people wanted to see it. So yeah, that is it. If you have any more video requests or anything, then let me know. And I'll see you, or I'll speak to you next time. Bye!
Clouds are stirring up the sky. I was so